My name is April, and I'm a nurse practitioner at Ricks. I work with patients who have blood disorders and cancer.
I'm Jonathan. I work at the Summit Church. We actually met serving with Summit students in the lobby 8 years ago. We got married at Summit. Jason Gaston did our wedding. It was great.
So growing up in the church, I was really accustomed to going on Sunday and Wednesday, being a part of small group, serving. But when I came to Summit and understood the gospel more, I became much more aware of the radical nature of sacrifice, just understanding the sacrifice that Jesus made for us on the cross, and then how that plays into day-to-day life, particularly with giving. And so after John and I got married and we started talking about it, giving became what is the most that we can do that really reflects how much we value and appreciate the sacrifice of Jesus in our life.
We were in a room when we heard Pastor JD talk with our staff about in the direction he believed that God was leading the church, particularly as it intersected generosity and really, with this question of, is Jesus really first in your life, or is he one among many? I did pray and ask God, what direction he wanted us to go in that. So some of the questions he asked us were things like, what is really first in your life? Like, when you look at a budget, you quite literally are assigning value to the things in your life. And so when we did that, our giving was the second thing on our budget line item. Our mortgage was our first. Even the language used, like our mortgage was our first. And so that's one of the things that God has kind of put his finger on with us and said, what would it look like to put me first in this area? And to be really honest, we don't know what we're going to do about that. We're asking questions. As we sit down and look at that, it would be a jump that would change a lot of other things about our lives. So we are just very prayerfully looking at what that means. I think the important thing for us is we already determined, wherever the Holy Spirit leads, we're going to go. We would rather follow the Holy Spirit into a realm of unknown than, stay in our safe, comfortable lives, apart from his leadership.
I think one of the biggest things that we think about with this, and that is really hard, is really to say no to not just expenses, but to also saving. And being probably more of the saver in our relationship, I find a lot of security in that. And so the thought of being able to give more and be able to save less towards needing a car in the future, which we know is coming soon, and other things that are pertinent for saving, it's scary, and because you think maybe I should be saving instead. It's not like I'm just wanting to spend more money. I actually am saving it for a good cause, or to use it wisely. But I think really what that reveals is a lack of trust in the Lord, that he is going to provide if things come up. And I think that's what we have definitely seen over the past years as we've increased our giving, is our heart attitude towards the Lord and trusting him has always followed. And that's never not happened. The more that we give, the more that we have trusted him, and the more our trust in him has grown. That has always happened.